Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, gather around your radio. It's time for episode 21 of Magic and the Law of Attraction with Madam Pamita.
Hello, everyone. I'm your host, Madam Pamita, and you're listening once again to Magic and the Law of Attraction, the podcast where you'll learn how to transform your life in magical ways to make it the very best that it can be. Well, I'm so excited to be back for this episode. I've got so much to share with you. I'm going to be traveling around the country a little bit. If you are in New Orleans, I'm going to be coming to see you August 10th through 12th. I'm going to be at Hex Fest, and that's at the Bourbon Orleans Hotel. You can find out more about it at hexfest.com. I'm going to have a little booth there with my friend Chelsea. We're going to be selling some amazing magical items that we make here in the shop and a new business that I'm starting with her called Magic Everywhere. I'll also have copies of my book, Madam Pamita's Magical Tarot. I'll have those on hand to sign and talk with you about that. So come and see me at Hex Fest in New Orleans, August 10th through 12th. I'm so looking forward to seeing you there. I've also got some exciting news. We've got the pirate invasion of Long Beach. I just got back from that. And if you want to see a little snippet of me in my pirate costume, I've got a little snippet of that up on YouTube. But I had an amazing time with my boyfriend. We dressed up like pirates. We had a great time doing that. I'm also back from a quick trip to New York, and I'm planning to go back to New York sometime this fall to do readings, maybe do a workshop. And so that's all in the works right now. So if you're in New York, you want to stay tuned and make sure you find out when the details of that come up. So let's see. Let's just jump right into it. This week's question was sent in by Virginia from Monterey. And she asked, my question is, when it comes to the law of attraction, I have a really hard time with the letting go part. Any advice or magic to help let go and let the universe deliver? Thanks, and I'm so glad that podcast is back. Well, thank you, Virginia, for that amazing question. And I'm glad the podcast is back too. I'm glad to be here with you guys, and we have so much fun. By the way, if you want to ask questions about magic, the law of attraction, you can do that. So here, the podcast, but I also have a Sunday Q&A session that takes place on Instagram and YouTube every Sunday from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. And you can ask questions, type them in, and I'll answer those live and on the air. I don't know what you want to say, but thank you, Virginia, for your question. That's super great. So in this episode, we're going to be talking about exactly that. We're going to talk about what wild magic is. That's manifesting magic without any tools. We're going to talk about how to master your mind, which is key for being a manifester. We're going to also go into how to be an expert co-creator. And I'm going to give you a game that you can play with the universe to bring you a gift in the next 24 hours. So let's just jump right into it. So first of all, let's talk about what magic is. If you don't, and you remember back in episode 1, we talk about what magic is. I go into great detail about it, but let's do a little brief summary of that and go back later on and listen to episode 1 of the podcast, and you'll get more in-depth version of it. But let's talk about what magic is. Well, one of the concepts of magic is that it originates as thought. All thoughts create things. And one of my favorite magical ladies, Jackie Smith, invented a name for this kind of magic. She calls it wild magic. And I just love that idea, wild magic, that you can create magic and you can create and affect change just simply through thought. You want to check out her book. She has a book called Coventry Magic with Candles, Oils, and Herbs. And in that book, she talks in great detail about wild magic. And so you can take a look at that if you want to know more about wild magic. So the idea of wild magic, which Jackie Smith talks about, or what other people talk about as the law of attraction, all of those things are the idea that change can be affected, and that happens through thought, that we create through our thoughts. Now, this is an old concept. It goes back to something called the Emerald Tablet. The Emerald Tablet, in the beginning of the Emerald Tablet, there's a phrase that says, as above, so below. And what that means is that, well, one of the parts of that concept is that if you can think it, you can manifest it. So one of the great sort of emblematic, what I would call, I would say symbolic representations of this shows up in the tarot. And if you take a look online, or if you have a tarot deck, look at the Magician card in the Rider-Waite-Smith deck. And in the Magician card, he's a master manifester, and he is pointing one hand up toward the sky with a magic wand in it, and his other hand, he's pointing down toward the ground. And this represents that idea of as above, so below, that if you can think it, you can create it. If you can imagine it, if you can believe it, you can create it. Magic is the process of shaping something to our will. And so it first starts as the thought. Nothing that has been created by humans in this world exists without there first being a thought of it. Look at everything around you. The computer or the phone that you're listening on, the chair that you're sitting on, the building that you're in, the drink that you're having, the food that you're eating, all of that originated with someone having an idea. Someone thought, oh, we're going to make a drink that's going to refresh you, or we're going to invent a food or grow a food that's going to nourish you, or we're going to create a chair that's comfortable, an electronic device that allows you to connect to the world, and so on. These all started with someone having an idea. So the idea is the origin of all things in the material realm and in the spiritual realm. So magic is that idea of shaping something to our will. When we do that all the time in the material world, and when we're doing magic, we're doing this in the spiritual world. Your thoughts are powerful and important. Your thoughts are things. There's a beautiful old spiritualist new thought idea that thoughts are things and thoughts create everything. So every creation that we see was once a thought. And so if the thoughts are the origin of everything that we create, then you want to be in control of your thoughts. You want to have mastery over your mind. Now, what that means is that you want to create beliefs that will then turn into realities. Now, mastery over your mind doesn't mean this, that you have to be a control freak and a perfectionist and be thinking 100% beautiful, positive thoughts, or thoughts that are exactly what you want to manifest at all times. It's not the single thought that creates the reality, but it's the consistent thought over time that becomes a belief. All right, let's think about that. If in general you are a positive person and you are thinking of things and envisioning things and believing in things that are things that you want, then you are creating those things over time. Now, if you are generally that and you have one negative stray thought, let's say you have a worry or somebody says something negative to you and you think about that for a second, that one little drop of a negative thought isn't going to throw the whole thing off balance or send everything into a turmoil, or you're not going to manifest that one negative thing. It is the repetitive thought that creates the reality. So if your repetitive thought, for example, is, I'm going to go to college and I'm going to get a degree and then I'm going to be successful, that's going to be your outcome. If you have one negative thought of like, oh, I hope I get into that university, or that maybe there's some worry that you're not going to have pass a test or something like that, as long as you don't harbor those thoughts so much that they become then your predominant belief and your predominant vibration, you're not really going to have a problem with that. But when you're thinking consistently in a negative way, I'm never going to get to college, I'm never going to graduate, I'm never going to pass, then that becomes a problem. So you want to have mastery over your mind so that you are consistently and over time creating beliefs that move you in the direction that you want your life to go. You can use this in your favor. And there's many, many techniques for doing this. But one of my favorite techniques is spoken out loud affirmations. So affirmations are things that you say out loud. And preferably, if you can say them to yourself in front of a mirror where you're looking at yourself, that's even better. But you say these things out loud, and create a new pathway in your brain. So let's say, for example, you have a general negative belief about going to college. You kind of want to go to college, but you don't have the belief that you're able to do it, that you're going to find the money, that you're going to be able to do that. So the first step is recognizing that you have a negative belief. The second step is catching yourself when that negative belief starts going around in your head, and then stopping yourself and saying an affirmation. If you want to go look at examples of affirmations, I recommend you go to my book, Madame Pamita's Magical Tarot. In that book, I have affirmations that go along with each of the tarot cards. And in that book, you can pull an affirmation from there. You can use the tarot card if you want, but you can also just say it without the tarot card. Use that affirmation. Stand in front of the mirror, look at yourself in the eye, and speak the affirmation. So in the case of our example, you could do something like stand in front of the mirror, look yourself in the eye, and say out loud, I'm going to go to college and I'm going to be a great success, right? Then changes the attitude. It then lifts you up and puts you in a positive place, in a positive frame of mind, and creates a new belief. If you keep doing that affirmation over and over again, even if you've had negative beliefs that you've harbored for a long time, you can turn those negative beliefs around and get into a more positive frame of mind, a more a beautiful frame of mind that's going to open up the things that you want in life. Another technique that I love to use, if you have people in your life that you're doing magical work with, or that you are trying to create and change your lives together, you can use each other for doing this game that I like to call playing as if, right? So let's say, for example, you want to have a love in your life. You want to have a new love in your life. You're single right now and you want to have love. Get together with your friend and sort of set up this game where you're going to pretend as if you already have that love in your life. And your friend's going to have a conversation with you, asking you questions. So like your friend could say to you something like, oh, I heard you have a new boyfriend or a new girlfriend. Tell me about this person. Who is this person? I want to know everything. And then you can go on explaining, telling, oh, you know what? He's fabulous. He's really amazing, super smart, really charming, really sweet to me. Wow. And your friend could say, wow, really? Tell me something. What was your first date like? How did you meet? And you can make up a story. So making up that story also creates that energy. It's very playful. It's very fun. You and your friend will, I guarantee, will start giggling as you're doing this. But it creates this idea that you get into the joyful vibration around this concept, around this idea, and start feeling more positive around the idea of bringing this love into your life. Kind of going along with that, you want to pay attention what you're saying to others. You know, your words are your spells. So if you're saying a spell, I'm never going to meet anyone, guess what spell you're casting on yourself? You're never going to meet anyone. But if you do this game where you start to pretend and play that your lover is already here, it's going to change and shift that energy. Do that as often as possible. And at the same time, be careful of your words when you're just having casual conversation. You want to make sure that you're not saying spells, I'm never going to meet anybody, I'm going to be single the rest of my life, etc. You don't want to be saying those things unless you want those things. If that's what you want, then you're doing the right spell. Now, a third way that you can start to turn things around is through writing. Now, one of the things I recommend is working with a gratitude journal. So I have a video up on my website. If you go to instructions, go to how-to videos, you'll see a bunch of videos that I've created. They're all up on YouTube, but they're also on my website. You can also go to hoodoohowto.com and find them there. Now, look for the gratitude journal video. And in that gratitude journal video, will see what I'm talking about, how writing can shift your energy. The gratitude journal concept in a nutshell is writing 2 pages every day. And on the first page, you're going to write what it is in your life right now that you appreciate, that you're grateful for. And the second page, you're going to write what it is that you want that you don't yet have, but you're going to write about it as if it's already here. So on that second page, you could, in our example that we gave before, you could write, I love my amazing boyfriend or my amazing girlfriend. I'm so happy that I got accepted to the college of my choice and I'm about to get my degree, and so on. So you could write these things that you don't yet have, but you write them as if they're already happening now and show your gratitude and appreciation for them. Now, this isn't a one-time thing. You have to do this practice over the course of 30 days to start to really see the momentum of this and continue it on beyond 30 days if you love what you're seeing. But this practice is so powerful. And again, speaking to yourself, affirmations, watching the words that you say out loud to others, and playing the as if game with others, and then writing those positive thoughts, those positive intentions in a gratitude journal is perfect. So I'm going to put the link to that gratitude journal page, a gratitude journal video on my website under the Magic Podcast. Under this episode, I'll have the link to that. So look for it there. You can also look for it at parlorofwonders.com, my website, under instructions, under how-to videos, and you can also find it online on YouTube. Now, you want to also do a couple other things to start to be shifting that mindset and be master of your mind. Another thing that's really great to pay attention to is, what are you listening to? What are you watching? And what are you reading? If you are listening to, watching, and reading negative things, you are taking those negative thought forms into yourself. So, for example, my very favorite example is the news. The news is meant to manipulate us. Of course, it's sharing information, but it's also meant to manipulate us to feel fearful. And that fear then drives you to want to find relief. And what do the news shows do? They show you an advertisement for something that will bring you relief, whether it's a new car, whether it's a product, whether it's a food. It's showing you something that's going to give you relief from the fear that you're feeling. So one of the first things I say to people when they want to become a master of their mind is I say, maybe you want to lay off watching, reading, or looking at the news that makes you feel anxious. You want to instead replace those things with positive things. So watch movies that make you feel joyful and happy. Watch television shows that make you laugh. Read things that are positive and hopeful. Read things that are going to uplift you. Read things that help you to expand your mind, learn new things. All of those things are great, and those are positive. So pay attention to what you're listening to, what you're watching, and what you're reading. Immerse yourself in the ideas that you want to believe. What is it that you want to believe? If you want to believe that the world is a scary and frightening and out of control place, then of course, immerse yourself in that. However, I sort of like to think in a different way. And I like to immerse myself in positive things. Spend time with positive people. Spend time looking at positive things, experiencing positive things, doing things that are helping to others, and so on. Look for inspiration around you. So if what you want, for example, is that new relationship, look for people around you that have relationships, and rather than be jealous of them, look at them as inspiration. You have a friend who found a new love in his or her life, and they're really happy and it's really great. You can say to yourself, I want that too. If they can do it, I can do it. Another example is our college example. Look for people that took themselves from a struggling place into a place of success, going to college, completing that college degree. Maybe you have a cousin or a friend who went to college and got that degree and did it no matter what. If they did it, you can do it. And that's what you want to look for, are those people that are inspirations, whether they're people that you know or people that you read about, famous people, whatever. You want to immerse yourself in those stories of people who created their own positive outcomes and the outcomes that you want, and model yourself after those. Again, I can't emphasize enough how important it is to surround yourself with positive people who support your belief. Choose companions who support you and support your wishes and support your dreams, or at the very least, don't negate your dreams, make fun of them, or say you can't do it. Surround yourself with these people. Those cheerleaders are there for you, and you want to bring those cheerleaders closer to you, the ones that are going to tell you you can do it. Now let's talk about the process of co-creation. So the idea that, first of all, you got to be a master of your mind. You got to get your concept going, moving in a positive direction. It's like your mind is two horses and you are driving the carriage and you're driving those horses. You've got to control those horses. So through all those things I mentioned, you're going to control your mind and put it in a more positive, optimistic, forward thinking, and energetically moving in the right direction space. So second part of this is the co-creation process. What is co-creation? Co-creation means that you are creating in conjunction with the universe. Now, I use the universe in the sense that you can say the universe is, oh, got a thunderstorm coming. I don't know if you guys can hear that. The universe is the idea that's very appropriate that the universe is another name for, some people call the universe God, some people call the universe spirit, but we have this idea that you're working with the energy field, with something beyond you, with the spirit realm. So the two of you are co-creating, you and the universe are co-creating. Now, you are like partners in a business. Now, partners in a business, in a good business, usually have complementary skills that they bring to the table. And that, let's say, for example, one of you is the creative one, the other is the practical one. You come together, you create a business together. And that way, you're able to create this team that moves something forward, almost like our team of horses that are moving our carriage forward, right? So you in this team up with you in the universe, you are good at the material world action. That means the thoughts that you think, the direction you're driving. You're almost like, kind of like, in some sense, the CEO that you, wow, that thunder is really exciting. We never have lightning storms here. This is really exciting to hear. So anyway, sorry for that distraction. So you are driving that chariot forward with your material world action, your ideas and your thoughts. You get to create. You get to be the idea person of this team up between you and the universe. Now, the universe is good at a different part of this. The universe is good at knowing what the divine timing is, the perfect timing for this thing that you want to manifest. The universe is also good at lining things up. And for example, that could be bringing synchronicities or putting you in the right place at the right time, or those lucky breaks or things like that. And lastly, the universe is good at knowing what you, as the material world person, don't know. So you may think, oh, I want that thing or that person. And the universe may say, I've got something even better for you. So don't get too fixated on that one because there's something better. So I may close the door and open up another door. So co-creation with you and the universe means you are making it together. You and the universe are making it together. So just like you have a business partnership, if your job is the creative part, you don't get in there and try and do the accounting. You let your partner who's good at accounting do the accounting, and your partner lets you, who's the creative mind, who comes up with all the ideas and the designs and all of that stuff, do your job. Let the universe do its job and you do your job. So allow the universe to be your co-creating partner and allow the universe to do his job. So how do we apply this in spell work? First of all, you have to prepare by getting to the belief before you even start the spell. So backtracking to what we were talking about before, if you don't believe that you can go to college, doing a spell for going to college isn't going to work. So don't even bother wasting that candle for success if you don't believe that you can have success. Don't bother doing that spell for love if you don't believe you're worthy of having love. So get into the place where you believe before. So start to do those affirmations, start to do that gratitude journal work, start all that before you do your spell work. When you do your spell work, it's a focused energy. And one of the things I love to add on to spell work is after you ask for your wish, tag on or something better. So I want to go to Northwestern University or someplace better. I want to take a trip to Paris or someplace better. I want this person to come to me or someone better. You see how that opens up the energy to allow the universe to co-create with you and allow the universe to bring you that really beautiful love that you want, or that beautiful success that you want, or that amazing vacation that you want, and have it be the best of all possible things. I also like to add another thing. The perfect outcome in perfect timing. That's to help you get over the I need it right now syndrome. We always do a spell and like, wow, I want it right now. Where is it? Why isn't it coming to me? You need to get over that because the universe knows better than you what the divine timing is. It doesn't mean the universe is punishing you by making you wait, but there are things that may need to line up before your thing comes to you, right? You may need to do some work on yourself, or that situation may need to open up in some way before you can have what it is that you want. So do that extra little bit of saying the perfect outcome in perfect timing so that you let go of that, I need it right now. Now use your magical support system. Your magical support system are candles, herbs, oils, incense. All of these things are very, very helpful for keeping the energy moving forward, giving an extra boost to your intention. And even if you have a little bit of a wavering doubt about your intention, to keep that energy moving. So check out my podcast episodes. Episode 6 is about oils. Episode 11 is about incense. And episode 14 is about herbs. And you can really delve into why those tools are very useful. Have someone who doesn't have resistance work alongside of you or do the work for you. So what that means is if you have friends and you do the spell and say the intention together, someone who believes in you or doesn't have this negative belief around the topic can be very, very helpful. Or you can hire a root worker to do a spell for you if you're having doubts or you're feeling shaky about something. Put someone in, give some energy toward that outcome by having somebody who doesn't have any doubts on it, who doesn't have any negative beliefs about it, help you do that work. You want to pay attention to your mental resistance, and when it crops up, you want to eradicate it with a spoken affirmation. Make sure that after you do that spell, if you start to get into that doubt and you have a doubting thought, stop that thought by speaking an affirmation. My perfect college situation is going to open up for me. My perfect partner is coming to me, and so on. Listen to podcast episode 12 on how to do magic for self-empowerment, because I talk about what to do about those negative thoughts and that. Also, you need to do this, work on your self-love. When you give yourself love, you will feel deserving of these good outcomes, and it will be so much easier to have the positive expectation of those good outcomes. And I have a beautiful blog post about doing a magic mirror as a beautiful self-love spell. So look at my blog and go down to the magic mirror spell and you'll find that. Another tool that you can use is to make a clarity spray. So you can get a glass bottle, use Van oil or Hindu grass oil and add it to a spray bottle. I sell spray bottles and I sell Van oil and Hindu grass oil on my site. You can also, you can shake that up, put some spring water, some oil, shake that up and spray it around as a way to clear out those negative thoughts, to give some support for clearing out that negativity. You can also use Palo Santo. I sell Palo Santo on my site. It's a beautiful aromatic piece of wood that you light and you burn, and it clears the energy and can clear those negative beliefs. Another technique that I think is so powerful for getting rid of those doubts and so on is what I call fake it till you make it. Pretend as if the thing is already here. How would you feel? Talk about it as if it's already here. Write about it as if it's already here. Pretend in your mind, visualize it as if it's already here. You can fake it till you make it. Like if you want to be a writer, you can say, I'm a writer, even if you aren't writing. Even if you haven't started writing yet, you can say, I am a writer. And that faking it, that you're a writer, is going to start making it go forward into that place where you become that which you want. Don't beat yourself up if you have a momentary lapse and you go into a little negativity. Just as soon as possible, pull yourself out of it and get into the place where you are back on track with the positive thought again. It is the consistent thought becoming the belief that leads to the outcome, not that one stray thought. Just continue to bring yourself back to the positive thought. Now, I promised you guys in the beginning that I was going to give you an amazing game to play with the universe. And this is one that I got from a book called E2 by Pam Grout. And it is so great. It is so simple to do and so much fun to do. I have a sign over my bed that says, wake up every morning with a thought that something wonderful is about to happen. And I love that. I love that. Every morning I look at it and I think something wonderful is going to happen today. And I like to set my intention for the day by looking at that sign. And what I'm going to do is give you this amazing game that you're going to do to make something wonderful happen in your life in the next 24 hours. So what I want you to do is ask the universe to show you proof. Ask the universe to show you that you can co-create together. Oh, I love the universe talking to me with all that thunder. So what you're going to do is ask the universe to deliver a gift to you in the next 24 hours, and then pay attention to what the universe brings you. I'm going to give you a quick example of what I did. I just did this recently. It was the most amazing story. I said, I want the universe to I'm going to test this out before I talk to you about it on the podcast. So I said, I want the universe to bring me a gift in the next 24 hours. So that night I went to the supermarket, minding my own business, take my groceries up to the car. I get into my car, go to unlock my door to get into my car. And I looked down at my feet and I saw a clear American Express credit card. So I picked it up and I said, oh, well, I'm going to find this person, look online, find this person and see if I can return their card to them. So when I got home, I looked up this person online and I found out that he had a business. And so I called his business the next day because I was at the grocery store at night. So I called his business the next day and I said there was somebody that answered the phone, an assistant that answered the phone. And I said, hey, I have your boss's credit card. And I found it at the grocery store last night. She says, oh, well, let me put you through to him. So I got through to him and I said, hey, I found your credit card. I just want to let you know I found your credit card and I want to get it to you. How can I get it to you? And he said, oh, just here, mail it to this address. And then he said, thank you so much. And then we were going to say bye. And then he said, oh, wait a minute. Do you drink coffee? It was a coffee company that he worked for. Do you drink coffee? I said, yeah, I drink coffee. He says, let me send you a couple pounds of coffee and let me put you back to my assistant and she'll get your information and we'll send you some coffee. So there was my magical free gift in 24 hours after asking that, couple pounds of free coffee. So I thought that was an amazing gift that the universe gave me and I was super thankful for it. So why don't you do that experiment yourself? Ask the universe to deliver a gift to you in the next 24 hours and report back and see what you got. You can tell me on Instagram. I'm always over on Instagram under Madam Pamita. You can tell me there, or you can put in the comments section below the podcast on my site. Let me know how you did with our experiment, okay? So that about does it for this episode of Magic and the Law of Attraction. If you would like to get even more info about this topic, then check out my website where I'm going to have all the links to the podcast episodes, the blog posts, and so on. I'm going to have all of that up on the website. So you can go to magicandthelawofattraction.com, head over there, and you'll see the link to this podcast. And you'll also see the links below about all those things that I'm talking about. And please subscribe to my Spell a Week newsletter and get a free copy of my illustrated ebook called 7 Secrets to Supercharge Your Spellwork. Thunder is so cool. Just go ahead to 7 Secrets ebook and 7secretsebook.com and get your free copy today. Or you can go over to my website and go over to newsletter and it will tell you how to get a free copy there. I want to say another huge thank you to Virginia for her super inspiring question about mastering the law of attraction and manifestation. If you have a question about spells, hoodoo, law of attraction, divination, or any other magical or spiritual topic, you can go to magicandthelawofattraction.com and submit your questions there. Your questions are amazing. I love them. And if your question gets chosen for a future episode, you get a $50 gift certificate to my online store, Madam Pamita's Parlor of Wonders. It's an esoteric emporium, spiritual apothecary, and repository of arcane wisdom. Basically, the Parlor of Wonders is your one-stop online shop for magical supplies, tarot readings, spells, classes, and a ton of free magical instructions. The ingredients for everything that we mention here and all of the resources that we talk about in this podcast are available at parlorofwonders.com. So head over there to check it out. A huge thank you to all of you Law of Attractioneers out there who have subscribed and shared this podcast with your friends. I love you guys and especially love it when you leave a review on iTunes. And because I love it so much when you leave a review on iTunes, we have a special contest every week where I pick my favorite written review from that week and give that person a free 30-minute tarot reading with me. And our pick for this week is Simama, who says, great speaker. I listen to a lot of magical podcasts and videos, and I have to say that yours is at the top of my list. Very good and useful information. You teach things that new and old practitioners can use. You have a wonderful speaking voice as well, which is very important to me. Thank you for all your hard work and sharing with our community. Thank you so much, Samama. Samama, if you're listening to this, go ahead and send a message to info@parlorofwonders.com, and we'll get that free 30-minute tarot reading with me. Boy, I'm not speaking very well on that, am I? Well, anyway, if you haven't yet put up a review on iTunes, why don't you do that now? And you might win a free 30-minute tarot reading too. So go ahead to iTunes, subscribe to the podcast, and post a written review. Let me know what you like and what you want more of, and we'll do it all next week and give away more prizes because I love giving away prizes. I want to say thank you to Gilles Navarre, who's my production and engineering guy who puts this all together. I also want to say a thank you to Manfred Hofer for being my fabulous announcer and also being my amazing boyfriend. And I want to thank you, listener out there, Law of Attractioneer. I want to thank you so much for joining me. I'm looking forward to next week when we're going to be answering the question, what are the 4 directions? Until next time, this is Madame Pamita saying, keep making your life the most magical adventure ever.